So what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Flex Luthor. So we're all familiar with the song Earned It by The Weeknd. It's the song that kind of super blew him up. It was the main single from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. Now on first listen, this song seems like just another ballad about a dude who's infatuated with some girl for whatever reason. But I assure you this song is so much more than that, at least from a lyrical perspective. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about how if you break down the lyrics to Earned It, you'll see that The Weeknd has laid out the keys to having what can be considered as a perfect relationship. So before we jump into this, do me a solid and go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Released on December 23rd, 2014, Earned It was included in the release of The Weeknd's second studio album, Beauty Behind the Madness. The album went on to be 4 times platinum in the US. Earned It signified The Weeknd's shift from an up-and-coming artist on the internet to an actual commercial hitmaker. Earned It landed a position at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. In fact, to date, the song has gone 7 times platinum in the US and 5 times platinum in his home country of Canada. The song even won a Grammy for Best R&B performance at the 58th Annual Grammy Awards. The music video has over 600 million views on YouTube and has been streamed over 205 million times on YouTube in the past 12 months. Alright, so right off the bat, let me just tell you that the idea of a perfect relationship is only relevant to the people in that particular relationship. Meaning, what I'd consider a perfect relationship is probably not what you would consider a perfect relationship, and that's okay. So even if the relationship The Weeknd is describing in this song wouldn't work for you for one reason or another, it doesn't matter, because the point of this is to extract the principles on display within these lyrics and apply it to whatever situation you'd consider perfect. So this works if you're in a friends with benefits situation, a regular monogamous relationship, or a polyamorous relationship. The point is, a perfect relationship is one in which you can have your cake and eat it too, whatever that means to you. So if you've been a fan of music for any amount of time, I'm sure you're familiar with love ballads and how they're typically structured lyrically. Usually someone is singing about how much they love someone, or how beautiful someone is, or how much of a great person they think someone is. But you never really hear why they love someone so much, or any meaningful reason as to why they think this person is so great. You just get vague compliments. I mean, I assume it's to boost the relatability of the song, but that's not the case with Earned It. The Weeknd is very clear as to why he holds this woman in such high regard. However, the song starts out like the typical love ballad with a vague compliment. The first line is, "You make it look like it's magic, 'cause I see nobody but you." Again, a vague compliment that doesn't really tell me anything about why he feels the way he does about her, or anything about her at all, really. But that's where the vague lyrics end, and The Weeknd immediately jumps into his why, his reason. The next line is something that most non-scrub men can relate to. He says, "I'm never confused, 'cause I'm so used to being used." So here The Weeknd is basically saying, most women want to use me for my status or money, and they're not really into the real me. Now, most men are not of the same status as The Weeknd financially, but the idea of being used as just a utility is a common complaint among many married men. Now, I can't say how many for sure, as I didn't conduct any peer-reviewed studies, but if the Facebook groups I'm in is any indication, many men who consider themselves providers in relationships feel as though the financial providing is all their spouses want from them. Other than that, their marriages and relationships are void of passion and sex. They get used to being used, which kind of speaks directly to the pre-hook that follows. So I love when you call unexpected, because I hate when the moment's expected. When you're used to being used by your significant other, you know how the progression of the moment occurs. Now, the moment could be referring to sex, or just a moment of genuine connection that he himself did not have to initiate. The point is, she actually thinks about him, and not just what she can get from him, and he finds that valuable. He has his cake. We're all familiar with the saying, "You can't have your cake and eat it too." It's a figure of speech that illustrates a trade-off of sorts. In relationships, that saying is used to signify that you'll have to be giving something up in order to maintain the relationship. For example, the 80-20 rule. A short-sighted rule that stipulates no one will ever give you 100% of what you need or want. The most someone can give you is 80%. Now, when you don't have the remaining 20%, you'll be tempted to pursue it. But by doing so, you'll jeopardize the 80% that you do have. The rule is inherently flawed, as it basically guarantees you'll never be truly happy. It sets a condition that you have to follow, and you don't even get fulfilled by following it. Again, it's a short-sighted position meant for peons who settle, but that's not you, right? The problem many people in relationships face is that they feel as though they're always being asked to sacrifice something they want for maintaining the relationship. I think here is a good spot to point out that this 80-20 rule really doesn't just apply to sex. I know it seems that way, and given the sexual nature of the song, that's the context you may be looking at it in, which is fine. I'm just pointing out that this can be about anything. Your 20% might be wanting to pursue your dream, and your spouse is unsupportive, so you put that dream aside to keep your 80%. I'm just saying it goes beyond sex. However, this 80-20 mess doesn't apply to The Weeknd though, because on the second verse, he describes the conditions of his relationship with this woman. He says, "You know our love would be tragic, so you don't pay it no mind. We live with no lies. You're my favorite kind of night." Here he's saying that she's not tripping on turning their relationship into some super committed situation. She's good with him just doing him outside of her. He has now eaten his cake too. So many people will treat you the way you want to be treated as long as you play by their rules, which is fine if the rules are something you like doing anyway. But that's not the case most of the time, is it? So up to this point, The Weeknd has identified what he finds valuable in a woman, and that the woman he's singing about produces those things. So what now? Now he goes all in on doing his part to provide value in return. In the pre-chorus, he says, "So I'ma care for you." The hook goes on to say, "Cause girl, you're perfect, you're always worth it, and you deserve it." This isn't some simp looking to shower a woman with money just for looking his way. This is someone who is genuinely trying to do his part to ensure that he too can provide the value to someone who's providing value to him. Now, this song ain't a duet, so we don't get to hear from her about what she wants. So we just have to assume the "I'ma care for you" energy that The Weeknd is putting out on this song is what she wants. And that right there is the key to a perfect relationship, no matter what type of relationship. Give someone 100% of what they want if they're cool with giving you 100% of what you want. Simple. No 80-20 bullshit. Now, I know this is easier said than done, especially since so many people will only find happiness by controlling you. Some people only find happiness in knowing you're not happy. Avoid these people like the plague. And when you do find someone who will do whatever it takes to make you happy, do the exact same for them. Again, easier said than done, I know, especially when you consider that most people aren't even honest enough with themselves about what makes them happy. But that's another topic for another time. In the end, relationships should be 2 people or 3 people or however many people you want spoiling one another. And not because it's what they're entitled to, but because they earned it. So what do you think? Are you one of those people who believe you can have your cake and eat it too? Or are you one of those people who believe in the 80-20 rule? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Anyway, until next time, peace.